urgent warning for conservatives. This one mistake could end everything. The Conservative Party of Canada finds itself on the edge of a potentially historic political breakthrough. Polls show momentum building, trust increasing, and voter confidence in the party growing steadily. With frustration mounting against the current government, economic anxieties rising, and household budgets stretched thinner than ever, the conditions seem ripe for a dramatic shift in leadership. And yet, one wrong move could collapse it all. There is one critical mistake the Conservatives must avoid at all costs if they hope to transform public frustration into electoral victory, ignoring the everyday economic pressures facing regular Canadians. This is not simply a strategic miscalculation, it's an existential threat to their campaign. Over the past few years, Canadians across every province have endured a brutal rise in the cost of living. Rent is climbing faster than wages. Grocery bills are straining families. Mortgage renewals are pushing homeowners to their limits. In many parts of the country, owning a home has drifted from dream to delusion, especially for younger generations. And through it all, Canadians have grown tired of excuses and finger-pointing. They want bold, clear, actionable solutions, and they want them now. So far, the Conservative Party has been strong in messaging, particularly around government accountability, taxation, and energy independence. But those aren't the bread and butter issues for most people. Canadians aren't waiting for ideological debates. They want their lives to get better, and fast. If the Conservative leadership underestimates the urgency of this sentiment, it could be a devastating oversight. What Canadians are looking for isn't grand theory. It's relief. They want to see a party that understands what it feels like to live paycheck to paycheck. They want leadership that empathizes with parents working multiple jobs just to afford daycare and groceries. They want someone who can speak with credibility and offer answers, not just outrage. Failing to build a platform centered around tangible relief, such as affordable housing, grocery costs, transit, healthcare wait times, and employment stability, is the Achilles heel in an otherwise powerful campaign. And while current polling numbers may show Conservatives ahead, nothing is certain in the volatile world of politics. Momentum is fragile. One misstep in tone, focus, or messaging can be all it takes for a lead to dissolve. Canadians have made their concerns crystal clear. Affordability is the number one issue. Cost of living is dominating conversations not only at the dinner table, but in community forums, town halls, and local elections. They're not just asking for lower taxes or fewer regulations, they want their quality of life back. If the Conservative Party does not place this issue at the very core of its platform, it risks seeming disconnected from the real lives of Canadians. No amount of polished talking points can mask a lack of empathy or specificity. But this warning isn't just about identifying the problem, it's about offering a roadmap. So, what can the Conservatives do to avoid this fatal misstep? First, they must put the housing crisis at the top of their priorities. Canadians need more homes, plain and simple. The shortage in supply has driven demand to a boiling point. The party must offer a bold, credible plan to increase housing supply across urban, suburban, and rural areas alike. This means reducing red tape, incentivizing construction, accelerating permitting processes, and working with all levels of government to push builds forward. Voters don't want another 5-year roadmap. They want shovels in the ground now. Second, cost of living must become a daily drumbeat in the party's messaging. It's not just about inflation, it's about affordability. This means practical solutions like immediate relief on essential goods and services, better transparency in grocery pricing, support for energy costs, and tax relief for working families and the middle class. These aren't luxury concerns, they're survival issues for millions. Third, the Conservatives must speak directly to young voters. While they may not be the party's traditional base, their concerns are now central to national debate. Gen Z and younger millennials are increasingly disengaged, cynical, and drowning in debt. If they are given a reason to believe that the Conservatives can make life affordable again, particularly when it comes to housing and debt, they could represent a powerful new coalition of support. But that support must be earned, not assumed. Fourth, communication matters. Now more than ever, authenticity wins elections. Voters are craving leaders who don't talk over their heads or speak in corporate code. The party must take a tone that is both confident and compassionate, fighting hard for Canadians, but doing so with humility. The era of robotic politicians is ending. Real stories, real language, and real connections will define who succeeds in this next election cycle. Finally, the Conservatives need to show unity, clarity, and vision. Voters are exhausted by infighting and vague agendas. They want to know where the country is going and how their lives will improve in the next 12 to 24 months. Specificity builds trust. Empty slogans breed cynicism. The good news is that the Conservatives already have many of the tools to succeed. Their current lead in the polls, growing base of support, and strong fundraising numbers all point to opportunity. But momentum only carries so far. Without anchoring their campaign in the lived experiences of everyday Canadians, the party could find itself repeating the same mistakes that have derailed political movements in the past. Because Canadians are watching and waiting. They're looking for someone who understands what it's like to struggle at the end of the month. Someone who listens not just to donors and advisors, but to parents, seniors, students, and small business owners. Someone who can not only criticize the government, but offer a hopeful, honest alternative. If the Conservatives can become that someone, they will not only win, they will lead a movement. But if they ignore the clear, loud voice of Canadians asking for help with the basics of life, then their rise may be short-lived. This is the moment of truth. The Conservative Party is at a crossroads. One path leads to connection, compassion, and electoral success. The other, to disconnection, disappointment, and defeat. The time for bold action is now. The warning has been issued. Will they listen,